Alright, this is the blood PvP guide. And even though people say blood isn't that good for PvP, we're still going to tell you how to spec and how to gem and stuff, reforge, and let's give it to Frostbite so he could teach you.
Hey, what up, guys? This is Rogue Status. This is also Dead Things playing as Frostbite. And I'm going to go into a little bit with the blood PvP spec. So first off, coming in some speculation with the blood PvP spec is that your blood, like, you can survive, but you can't hit hard. And I'm gonna tell you that is the absolute falsest truth ever. I mean, you can't burst like a rogue can, but man, you'll be putting up some high numbers, that's for sure. So let's go into the talent tree. You're gonna want full 3 out of 3 in blade barrier just from the damage. You're gonna want 3 out of 3 in bladed armor as well. Then I don't use improved blood tap, but I do have full incentive blood, which gives you a 15% chance after dodging, parrying, or taking direct damage to gain the scent of blood effect, causing your next 3 melee hits to generate runic power. As it was said before in our previous episodes, runic power is a key part to how you play DK. Then I got 2 out of 2 in Scarlet Fever, and I also have 2 out of 2 in Hand of Doom, which reduces the cooldown of Strangulate ability by 60 seconds. Strangulate is, one of your top moves against healers and spellcasters. It really can save your life. Then moving on, you got 1 out of 1 in Bone Shield, of course. I didn't spec into toughness, but some people do for that extra armor value. I went 2 out of 2 in Abomination's Might, which increases melee attack power by 20% and ranged by 10, and it also affects your party and raid members, which is key. Definitely, I'm going with an improved blood presence, increases your runic generation by 20% and reduces the chance that you will be critically hit by melee by 6%. And blood guys, really it's survivability. Me and Tordor, when we're playing on our rogues, me and him were up against a moderately geared, not a well geared, but a moderately geared blood DK, and it was us 2 against him, and it was a long 25-minute arena round. But blood DKs, they're really a bitch to take down, that's for sure. Then we got 2 out of 2 in blood parasite. That's also some survivability right there. Then I also went 2 of 2 in Sanguine Fortitude, which I spam Fortitude reduces damage taken by an additional 30%. So, when you're close to, dying, you pop that up, then you pop your heals like Rune Tap. And I use my Ghoul a lot and use Death Pact. Sacrifice and heals you for 25% of maximum health. Moving on, got Rune Tap, and then you definitely want Will of Necropolis. When a damaging attack brings you below 30% of your maximum health, the cooldown on your Rune Tap ability is refreshed, and your next Rune Tap has no cost. So that's an automatic lifesaver right there. Vampiric Blood, I also would recommend temporarily granting the Death Knight 15% of maximum health. It increases the amount of health received from healing spells and effects by 25%. So you guys are going to want to pop Vampiric Blood before you pop Rune Tap, and you get that extra health. Then you're definitely going to want 3 out of 3 in improved Death Strike. Because that's your main move as a blood. You're getting that health back, and then of course 1 out of 1 in Dancing Rune Weapon for that extra DPS. Then moving over to Frost, you're gonna want to go 3 for 3 in Runic Power Mastery. Like I said, Runic Power is all about that DK. Then definitely going with that Icy Reach. Like Swag said before, you got an extra 10 yards for those spellcasters, which could be a problem sometimes. Then you're going to want to go 1 for 1 in Lichborn. Always helps. You are immune to Charm, Fear, and Sleep effects, which we all know can be a pain. And then I went 2 for 2 in Endless Winter, making my Mind Freeze cost no runic power, which is real nice to, silence those spellcasters. And then on Unholy, I went 2 out of 2 in Unholy Command, which reduces the cooldown of your Death Grip ability by 10 seconds. You're like you said, you're always trying to get those spellcasters up in your face real quick. Get them down with your high hitting DK. And I'll pass it off to Swag real quick because he wanted to say something.
Guys, this is a little macro I made. Forget the yell part, it just yells boss wanna live. But, it casts Vampiric Blood, then Ruin tap. Basically, when you do this, Vampiric Blood increases the healing by Ruin tap. So doing Vampiric Blood, then Ruin tap will give you a bigger heal. Then you use Icebound Fortitude to reduce the damage. This is kind of like an oh shit macro. And let me show you how it kind of works. I gotta get some runic power first, around 40. Have my minion summoned, and then I hit my panic button, and it does that. And once I see it yells "Boss I wanna live," I know it popped Ruin tap and Vampiric Blood. But if I don't have enough Ruin power, it won't pop Icebound Fortitude or Death Pact. That's why my minion's still alive. But for the Lichborn also, this is a good cast on yourself. You do /cast Lichborn /target yourself. So it does Lichborn and targets yourself, and then you do /cast Death Coil, and then this heals you. For every Death Coil you do, it heals you to fit from 10 to 20k health, and if you're unholy, it does a little bit more. And then it does /target lasttarget. So let me show you what it does really quick. You put it on your bars, you click the button, and it's like I never dropped my target. It puts me right back on them. And back to Frostbite for some reforging.
I'm actually going to go over glyphs real quick while we're at it. So moving over glyphs for PvP Blood Spec DK. For your major ones, you're going to want Glyph of Heart Strike, which increases the damage of your Heart Strike ability by 30%. Also, Glyph of Death Strike increases your Death Strike's damage by 2% for every 5 runic power you currently have. And then also Glyph of Ruin Strike increases the critical strike chance of your Ruin Strike. Then on to major glyphs, Glyph of Anti-Magic Shell increases the duration of Anti-Magic Shell, which keeps those mage and locks off you for another good 2 seconds. Glyph of Dark Sucker. Your next death strike performed while in Frost and Holy Presence within 15 seconds after killing an enemy that yields experience honor. You will restore at least 20% of your maximum health. So, that doesn't happen all that often, but, if it does, you could be saving lives. The Glyph of Bone Shield, which increases your movement speed by 15% while Bone Shield is active, which is just a nice little arena perk to have. And then, as you guys know, monoglyphs aren't a big thing, but I definitely like having Glyph of Horn Winter, which increases it by 1 minute, which is real nice. Glyph of Path of Frost allow you to fall from a greater distance without suffering damage, and Glyph of Resilient Grip, which when your Death Grip ability fails because the target is immune, its cooldown is reset. So moving on to Reforge. Alright, so your hit chance is going to want to be at 5%, for almost any melee class. That's just so you're not missing out on a lot of DPS that you should have. Next, for gems, you're going to want to almost go all strength with some stamina in there as well. Because DKs, we're not hitting fast, especially in blood, but we're putting out numbers, big ones also. In arena round, you'll be getting out like 55k crits and whatnot. Onto that, got my crit chance. It's up at around 5% right now. My haste is at 11.22%. What else, guys? What else can I shed some light on? You got anything else, Swag?
Mastery. That's one big thing for DKs. You can nearly absorb 200k from using a Death Strike. Who won't want to sit there and be like, oh, you can't touch me? But doing that, gemming and reforging a lot of mastery can get you that defense that can't get you touched. It's really good, and I would recommend reforging mastery over anything else. But yeah, that's something you should think about, just depending on what you want to do, damage or survive. Alright, and I think that's it for our video, guys. We're going to be doing a PvE Blood next, so check our channel out and watch. Thanks for watching.